Hi, I'm William Everhart, Director of Training here at Lodestone, and today I'd like to talk to you about incorporating your Word documents into your InDesign layouts. So here's the scenario. You need to incorporate in part or in whole a Word document or perhaps multiple Word documents into an InDesign layout. Now this workflow is very commonplace and it happens in many different markets. So today I just want to walk you through this process. There's different variations and you'll have to choose the one that suits your particular needs. Now, don't feel like you have to stick with one workflow. Depending on the size of the Word document or the contents that you need out of that Word document, you may want to choose one of the other workflows. So let's have a look. First, we're going to take a look at copying and pasting between Word documents and InDesign documents. This is great when you have just small bits of the Word document that you want to incorporate, a couple of paragraphs. You don't need the entire document, just those small bits. Next, we'll take a look at placing whole Word documents into InDesign. A lot of even seasoned InDesign users don't realize that you can do this. Yes, you can place an entire Word document or multiple Word documents into your InDesign layout and have it flow across multiple pages inside the InDesign layout. When you do place Word documents into an InDesign layout, you have conversion options, and we'll take a look at some of those options for mapping your styles from Word into InDesign. Lastly, we'll take a look at the difference between linking or embedding to your Word document. So what is the difference and which gives me more options? As I said, there are different techniques for different scenarios, and you may have to use a combination of these. We've got a lot of information here, so let's get started. Okay, let's begin with the simplest of all the workflows, copy and paste. In this particular Word document, I have just a few of these paragraphs that I want to copy and paste into my InDesign document. So I'll select those few paragraphs. I'll choose the shortcut of copy. I'm working on a Mac, so it's Command-C. On a PC, it would be Control-C. But you can also use menus, whatever it takes. You just want to copy this content. Now, I want to keep that formatting as well, so let's see what happens when we paste this inside of InDesign. So here in InDesign, I can either paste it into an existing document or I'll just create a new one for simplicity here, and I'll just keep the defaults. Now, if I just paste right now, edit, paste, InDesign is going to just draw a little box here. Maybe not what I want. So let me undo that step. This time, let me use my type tool and create a text frame, and I will paste inside that text frame. I'm going to use my shortcut of Command-V, Control-V on a PC. Well, it pasted the content, but oh my goodness, it stripped out all of my formatting. Well, what if I wanted to keep that formatting? Well, let me just back up a step here. I will undo. Next, I'm going to visit the preferences of InDesign. Here inside the preferences, I want to take a look at the clipboard handling. Now, here at the bottom of the clipboard handling, it says, when pasting text and tables from other applications, how do you want to handle it? And as you can see, mine is set for text only. If I want to keep the additional information, I'll just choose the all information. That includes index markers, swatches, and styles. Awesome. Let's see how this works out. I'll click OK to accept that. Now I'm still editing this large text frame, so let me paste that content in. Aha! You can see now it has kept my formatting. This is huge. So, a big time saver here. Copy and paste when you just need those little snippets of text. Now, does it come over accurately? For the most part, I'm going to say yes, but occasionally you will get some little blips in there that you will have to deal with. But hey, this is awesome. Just a short detour to the preferences and to the clipboard handling area. This will help determine whether you keep those styles or not, and you can turn this on and off as you see fit each time you place content. Okay, now let's take a look at version 2 or workflow 2. In this case, we're going to use the place command. So I'm going to remove this text frame. I'm going to keep this as a blank document, and I'm going to place my Word document. Notice I do not have a text frame at all. If I open up my Pages panel over here, I have only a single page. So let's see what happens. Now, if I go back over to Word for just a moment, let's take a look. I've got multiple pages here, okay? Plenty of formatting, character and paragraph formatting here, and I've got multiple pages. Let's see what happens when I place this document inside my single page InDesign document. I'm going to switch back over to InDesign. I'm going to go to the File command, and I'm going to choose Place. I'm going to locate that Word document. Here it is right here. Now, in the lower left-hand corner, I have three options. I'm going to make sure they are all off. Let me repeat that. They are all off. I'll click Open, and I get the what Adobe calls place gun. Not my word, theirs. But this is my place gun. It's showing me a little preview of the text I'm about to place. And I'm just going to go up here to the top margin, and I'm going to click to place that content. So InDesign draws a box, puts the content in there, and check it out. There's all of my formatting. Once again, there might be some slight differences here, but for the most part, it brought that content over correctly. Now, it only created the first page. If you look at the very bottom right-hand corner, I have a little plus sign here, a little red plus sign. This indicates overset text. That means there's more text than can fit in this container. Well, I'm going to back up just 1 second and show you a little trick here. Let me undo that step. Now, I'm ready to place this content. My place gun is in place. I'm ready to do it, but I only have one page, and we just saw that it has more than one page. This time, when I go to place this content, I'm going to mouse back up here to this top margin. I'm going to hold down my Shift key, then click. Not only does it create this text frame, but then if you look over in my Pages panel, it went ahead and created the additional pages, all 5 of them in fact, to fully place this Word document. All of my formatting is in place. It is awesome. Let me just check out some of these other pages here. If I take a look over here in my Paragraph Styles panel, you can see that all of the styles that were set up inside the Word document have been brought over. They're in my Paragraph Styles. If I take a look at Character Styles, there are a few in there as well. So, the File Place command, just out of the box, will keep all of the formatting. Awesome. Let's move on to Workflow 3. This is where we place with import options. I'm going to just close this document, and we'll just create a fresh one. I'm not going to save this, and I'm just going to create a fresh blank document using standard letter size, nothing fancy here. I got a single page. Take a look. One page, just like I did before. This time, when I place the content here, the Word document, I'm going to toggle on the little import options. So I'll go to File menu. I'll choose Place. I choose my document, and then I'm going to choose Show Import Options. When I click the Open command now, I get a new dialog. And notice at the top, Microsoft Word import options. So if you have different file types, you will get different options. These are specific to Microsoft Word documents. So as you can see here at the top, the things that I can include, if I had a TOC, an index, a footnotes, or endnotes, I can include them. If they're not in here, doesn't matter. I can leave that on. It won't import them because they're not there. Other options that I have, use typographer's quotes. So instead of the little quotation marks that we normally see, the little straight pipes, it will actually switch this to true typographer's quotes, 6s and 9s as we call them. Now, here's the important part, the formatting. You have multiple options for this. The first option that you have is to completely strip out the styles and formatting. So let's say I were going to place the entire Word document, but I don't care how they formatted the content. I'm going to strip it all out. That would be this first option. Now, if you choose to do that, let me recommend that you turn on this feature, Preserve Local Overrides. What if your author has simply highlighted a little bit of text and made it italic or made it bold? They didn't apply a character style, they simply chose the bold option or the italic option. This preserve local overrides feature will actually keep those little adjustments there, the bold, the italic, or whatever that may be. So it's a good idea to turn that on. Now, if you choose to keep the styles, then you can preserve the styles and formatting from the text and tables. You can also choose how you handle manual page breaks. Do you import inline graphics, track changes? Do you need all of those unused styles? And how do you handle your bullets and numbering? So, multiple options here. Now, below that, importing styles automatically. Because I am importing into a fresh, squeaky clean document, there is no conflict from styles coming from Word and then styles that are in InDesign. InDesign, when you create a new document, does not, let me repeat, does not create paragraph styles for you. Unlike Microsoft Word, which does give you a handful of styles, such as normal and heading 1 through 9. So, you don't get that in InDesign, so there's no real conflict here. Alright, so let's see how this works. I'm going to leave the basics here to preserve the styles and formatting and hit OK. Once again, I'm going to go to the top margin here. I'm going to hold down my Shift key and click, and it places the content. The results are similar to the place command without import options. So, what does that tell you? Well, you really want to use the import options when you know you have conflicting styles. I know I have styles in my InDesign document, and I want to use those instead of the ones in Word. Let's take a look at that workflow. I'm going to close this document. Not going to save it. I'm going to open one that I've worked on earlier today. And I've got some missing links. That's okay, I'm not concerned with that. But now you can see in this document, I definitely have some styles in here. If I take a look over here to the right in my paragraph styles panel, I have several styles. The same with character styles. I have several of them. So let's see how this works. If I go down here to the last page and I go ahead and create a new blank page right beside it. This is where I'm going to place my Word document. So I'll go to the File menu. I'll choose Place, just as I did before, and I will show Import Options. I'm going to select my Word document, hit the Open button, and now I'm getting some conflicts. So I'm preserving the styles, but whoops, I've got a little caution sign here. There are 13 conflicts. You have a choice here. You can import the styles automatically. If it hits a paragraph style conflict, just go ahead and use the InDesign style. This will convert. If I have a body style in Word and I have a body style in InDesign, it will throw away the formatting in Word, and whatever content was using that same body style will now be updated to use my InDesign style definition. The same holds true with character conflicts, but you can change that. If I click the little drop down here, I can say, well, how about we redefine the InDesign style? Basically, update the style inside of InDesign to match the style coming in from Word. The other option that you have here is to auto rename. In this case, it would update the style name from InDesign to body copy or body 2, something to that effect, and then also go ahead and import the Word style. Then you have two styles. It allows you to later on merge them, do something else with them, but basically you'd have both styles in this InDesign document. So there's your options there for that. Now, what if you need something a little more specific? Well, down here at the bottom, this is your final option. You can customize your style import. So we're still preserving the styles and formatting from Word, but we're going to now map how those styles coming in from Word link up with styles that are already in InDesign. I'm going to click the Style Mapping button here. So on the left are all of the various styles that are coming in from Word. Over on the right is how those styles will be handled. So As you can see, I have a normal style. Well, if I know that style is actually being used inside of the Word document, I may want to map that to another style here in the InDesign. And I do. So I'm going to take any normal style, any text using the style normal in Word, and I'm going to map it to, say, the body copy style here in InDesign. Now, I may do the same for heading 1. Maybe those should be these main headings here, main subheads. Heading 2s, maybe those are just subheads. And then heading 3s here. Well, I don't really have a style maybe for those, so I'll just leave this option to create a new paragraph style. And so it will just introduce a new style called heading 3. Now I have a couple others here. Normal for web, balloon text. Those two are going to just create new styles. Then the others here, intro body, that will just convert over to intro body and InDesign. And the rest of these are pretty much that same way. If it notices a name in the Word style that matches a name in the InDesign style, this process is also case sensitive. So subhead with a capital S and subhead with a lowercase s, two completely different styles when it comes to style mapping. All right, so I think I've got this worked out. Some of the styles are going to come over. Some of them are going to be mapped to other styles in here. Let me just switch one more here. I see another body. I'm going to switch it to body copy. I think everything else will be okay, so we'll just swap these on over and let's see what happens. I'll click OK and click OK. Now I'm ready to place my text, so once again I'm going to hold down that Shift key and I'm going to click up here at this top margin. My InDesign document is now updated with the Word document, and if I look at my Pages panel, I have included multiple pages to flow that Word document into. So all of the styles have been mapped over, and they match, for the most part, the rest of my document. Pretty awesome. So as you can see, there's lots of opportunities here using Word within InDesign documents. Now for my last trick here, I'm going to incorporate a Word document into my InDesign layout that can be updated. So let's see what this looks like. What I'm talking about is linking to the Word document rather than embedding. Up to this point, we have been embedding that Word document. So any changes made to the document are not updated here inside of InDesign. What if I want that to happen? Maybe I've got time-sensitive material in the Word document, and I want to make sure I get the latest copy of it. Basically, the Word document is constantly being updated, and I want to make sure I've got the most recent version. Well, for that, I need to link to that Word document. Let's see how that happens. First, you have to take a trip back to the preferences. So on a Mac, I'll go to the InDesign menu. On a PC, that'd be the Edit menu, and I'll go to Preferences. From the submenu, I'm going to choose File Handling. Now, in this section here at the bottom, Links, I'm going to toggle on the Create Links when placing text and spreadsheet files. Doing so will now link to my Word document when I place it. I'll click OK, and I'm going to create a new InDesign document. I'll go to the File menu and place my Word document. I'm not concerned about the import options in this case. It works either way. I don't need them here, so I'll leave them off. Click Open. Now, once again, I'll hold the Shift key as I place my content, and it'll go ahead and flesh out the rest of the pages for me. For this demonstration, I'm using InDesign CS6, and there have been some minor improvements to the interface. One of them is displaying link content. Now, you still have your links panel over here, and any linked content will be listed in there. So you can see my IND Fun Chap 2 doc file here. But if I take a look over here inside my InDesign document itself, right here in the upper left-hand corner, there is a little chain here. This indicates that this content is linked, not embedded. All right, so what does that mean? What does the linked content mean? Well, it simply means that I can make changes here inside of InDesign. So this heading here, maybe I highlight the text and say changed in InDesign. Okay, well that works. Nothing wrong with that. I can actually change formatting. Let's say I take this paragraph here and I switch the paragraph style on it to something else. Okay, so I can even, let's say, remove some content. How about I just remove that? Nothing wrong with that. All of these are valid changes within InDesign. How does that affect my Word document? Well, let's see. If I toggle back over to Microsoft Word, well, still says document creation, still has this paragraph, and the formatting is the same here. That fish doesn't swim upstream, as we say around here. The changes made in InDesign do not affect the Word document. However, if I make a change to the Word document, how about we change this title? Instead of document creation, how about we say new document creation options? Okay, and I don't know, let's say I change this first paragraph here, maybe change some formatting on it. Let's say we call this one of these other options. How about followed hyperlink, just so we have something different here. Well, I've made changes to the Word document. If I save those changes, go up here, click the little floppy disk to save it, and I return to InDesign. Well, InDesign in CS6 version, however, it only gives me a little display icon up here. You see here? It's giving me a little caution symbol. It says, hey, this content is out of date. In other words, there is a newer version. You will notice this also if you go over to the links panel. It says this particular link is not up to date. Now, if you're not using CS6, you will still get this display in the links panel. You may even get a pop-up menu that says, hey, one of your links has changed since you created this document. Do you want to update it? All right, so let's update this content and see what happens. Well, I'm going to use my links panel, and I'm just going to use this little update content. When I do, I get, hey, you've made some changes here inside of InDesign, and you're going to lose these changes. So the formatting changes and the title change here, the copy that I deleted, all of those changes I made in InDesign. And this little dialog is just letting me know, hey, you're about to lose all of that stuff. So I'm going to click yes. It's going to re-import that Word document. If I scroll back up here to the top page, you can see, well, new document creation options, and now this text is underlined. So I've changed content, and I have changed formatting here. InDesign went out, got me a fresh copy of my Word document, brought it in, and all of the changes I made here within InDesign are tossed out. Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer that I'm losing my formatting here in InDesign. But good news, there is a plugin if you do this type of work a lot. I'm going to switch over here to Google real quick and show you. Software. They have a product called WordsFlow, and basically it helps you to manage these updates made in your linked content, primarily Word, and make sure that it updates properly inside of InDesign and keeps any overrides you made in InDesign. Really, really awesome feature here. I encourage you to check it out. Okay, let's review. If you copy and paste content, by default, all of your formatting is lost. So if you want to keep that formatting, remember, go to your preferences and choose the clipboard handling options. Placing Word documents allows you more formatting options, but it also places all of the content from Word, not just bits and pieces that you choose. If you use the import options, you get a higher level of control, including style mapping from your Word document into your InDesign layout. In addition to this, those settings can be saved for future conversions. And finally, linking to Word content, well, that allows you those last-minute updates and changes to the Word document, but any formatting changes or copy changes that you make inside of InDesign, those things are lost when you update to that Word content. Thank you for watching. For more quick tips or more in-depth training, please go to www.lodestone.com.